Hey y'all. Hey everybody. I'm getting better every day. My voice is getting better. By next week, I'm gonna be screaming again. It's getting better. It's still a little bit raspy. I still been sipping on tea. I realized that I actually had so my cold wasn't, like out like my husband's. Mine's was like suppressed in my chest. So I took some medicine. I've been coughing it up and I am feeling better, but I'm not 100%. So I ain't gonna be doing a whole lot of yelling, but my voice is getting better, y'all. I'm excited. How are y'all doing? I slept a lot today too. Ooh, Lord. I've been texting. Look, I post, then I fall asleep. I post, then I fall asleep. I post, and I fall asleep. And let me explain my posting, okay? First, hey, everybody in the chat, give me a thumbs up if you can hear my raspy voice. But let me explain my post. I'm out of the saga, y'all, but I can still post whatever the fuck I want to post on my page. So every now and again, you might hear me release some thoughts. This has been a long saga into just one story. So every now and again, you might hear me release my thoughts, okay? And the one that I just posted when I said Joffy Live changed a lot. The cat was let out the bag, no more excuses. Let me explain that. I want to give big ups to Joffy and Jenny for hosting that live. We had no idea how it was going to go and how it was going to turn out. But let me just say this, okay? When somebody is called to the carpet, or even a better term, when they back is against the wall, they react, okay? So Joffy's live with Jenny on there, with them and not only Joffy and Jenny, Jenny, and this lady named Denise. I don't know who this lady Denise is, but Joffy, Jenny, and Denise, okay? When you ask questions and you push people to the wall, you put their back against the wall, they have to react, okay? So what we're seeing now is a reaction of something that wasn't supposed to be out, okay? The cat was let out the bag. We had no idea Brianna was going to jump on the panel. Brianna jumped on the panel. She answered hard questions, and people found out things that they just did not know. You know what I'm saying? They absolutely did not know that things were a lot different than what was portrayed to the public, okay? So therefore, because when someone get called on their shit, they're going to behave differently. You understand what I'm saying? So, a lot of people thought, hey, Felicia, baby, a lot of people thought that it was it was true that he was being held from his daughters, and that was just not true. It's just not true. It can't go down in history like that. And big ups to Jenny. Let me say this. Jenny's not a B, but I'm here for it. As far as listen and like it. If I want to like what she say, I'm gonna like it. If I want to laugh, I'm gonna laugh. If I want to whatever, I'm here for it. But I mean, I'm here for social media, and anybody on social media that make me laugh, I'm gonna laugh. Can't nobody out there tell me what to laugh at and what not to laugh at. And nobody can certainly not tell me what the fuck to post on my page. That's actually quite offensive that some people would come to my page and try to tell me you need to take this down. Like as if I'm really gonna do that. That's when I'm really not gonna take it down, even if I had intentions on taking it down. Like, don't ever think that you can come and tell this old ass 51-year-old, very, very experienced woman any goddamn thing, because it's just not going to happen like that, okay? So again, but I give big ups to Joffy, Denise, and Jenny for pushing someone on that panel, pushing Robert. I'm not gonna hold on next, pushing Robert on that panel and calling him to the carpet, because it showed that you're saying they didn't know that Brianna had been offering every other weekend temporarily until something was signed in the paperwork. They didn't know that. And so when he came out and said it, it shocked some people. So it just made him have to pull up his big guy draws and go visit his daughters. Okay. So that's what it made. And let me just clear up one other rumor. I'm not out here to be spreading nobody's business, but I can't just let this one go. There's a whole lot of people over in YouTube just telling a whole lot of lies. You know, let me just say this. God did work his magic or whatever in this whole saga, not just on mediation day, but the whole saga. You know, God, you first of all, let me just say this. No one can take down what they didn't build up. Okay. So God was slowly breaking this up, okay, because it was forming into a very demonic story, okay, and God was just breaking it down, not just on that side, our side too. He was breaking the whole story down, the whole story down. I mean, when I say breaking it down, chipping off people, chipping off people, chipping off people, sitting people down, in other words, sitting people down. Okay. He sat down the people that he wanted to sit down first, and then he continued. Okay. Sometimes you got to get your legs taken from underneath you. You feel me? And so that's what he was doing. He was taking the legs off of people, taking the legs out from underneath certain people. Okay. But at any rate, we said yesterday that we're happy for Robert and Brianna as parents, um, co-parenting Amora. Now let me straighten this up because I heard somebody say, "Oh, Amora's she now like Robert or whatever the case may be." No, I do not like Robert. I don't respect Robert. Okay, so but that's just my thoughts and my opinion. That has nothing to do with my relationship with Brianna. I'm Brianna's auntie. Okay, and so I'm her internet auntie. Okay, so anyway, Brianna is moving on in peace. She is, and she just loved the fact that now her kid's father can be a part of her daughter's life, and I like that for her. But I personally don't respect Robert, but I do like the fact that he is now um he's showing the public what the public wanted to see, and that is him spending time with him being around his daughters. He did it because he was pushed against the wall, one, and he can no longer use any excuses of why he can't see his daughter. He was never kept from seeing his daughters by the moms, never. I can't let that one go down in history. I just cannot, y'all. He was never not allowed to see his daughters from either of the moms. He was choosing that and using my baby mamas is holding my child, my girls, as an excuse. So anyway, again, shout out to Jaffe, Denise, and Jenny for pushing the envelope and making other people see that those were just excuses that he was using. So now he got to really stand on business, okay? He don't have no more excuses. He can't come out here with no pity party, act like he crying and shit because he can't see his daughters. He really got to step up and be the man and father that he needs to be. There's a lot of, let me give a shout out to all the real fathers out there, because listen, there's a lot of fathers out there. You hear me? A lot of strong, involved, active Black fathers, white fathers, Mexican, every ethnicity. There's a lot of real ass fathers out there, okay? And I take my hat off to those guys because databomb.com, a lot of fathers, a lot of men will dip out on their child and use the mother as an excuse why they're not being a daddy, why they're not being a father, okay? And they get bitter too. Don't ever think that there's daddies out there that's not bitter as fuck, okay? Because it's just not true. So anyway, shout out to the real fathers that don't need to make no excuses why you can't be a dad. Shout out to the real fathers that don't come on pretending and lying to people just for likes, views, and fake support. Shout out to the real fathers that provide financially, emotionally, physically, and psychologically to their children. Okay. Shout out to the real fathers, and shout out to the moms that could really end some shit for people, but they just say, you know what, I'm gonna let people think what they want to think. Okay. So anyway, but again, shout out to Jenny, Jaffe, and that lady named Denise for even allowing Brianna to come up on that panel, because no one knew that. No one knew that she was going on that panel but her. And they allow her to come up there. They didn't disrespect her. They kind of like pushed a little bit, but it's okay because she's a tough cookie, honey. When you done went through some shit like this for over a year, you become a tough cookie. So she was a tough cookie. She stood her ground and she just answered the questions. Okay. She answered the questions. She's not trying to keep him. She was never trying to keep him from his from the dad. And it came out. It came out. And so because it came out, I feel that he was left with no choice. Okay. Mediation apparently went well, and he was left with no choice. No choice at all. Everything that Brianna wanted, she wanted him to sign a temporary custody until the judge sign it in effect. Hey, it happened. Okay. He said at one time he would never, he ain't gonna sign nothing that don't allow him full custody or either 50-50 of his daughter. I mean, he got every other weekend. I don't know what else you can say. Okay. Every other weekend, is exactly what he was not wanting. But it's okay because every other weekend give you a chance to bond with your child. Now, I'm just gonna say this. I'm throwing this out there. This is not for anybody to say whatever. But when a mom and dad get a divorce, or mother and father, whatever, get a divorce, they initially stick by the divorce decree, right? Because they use that divorce decree as rules, I guess. But eventually, over time, they relax it because that's what we did. My ex and I. You relax it, and you can relax it and start trusting people more. And then the little what I mean by relax it, even though it says every other weekends, who knows? It might be a day off on Monday. They might have teachers' day in school on Monday, and you might call somebody up on the phone and say, "Hey, you want your daughter? I mean, she's out of school on Monday. You want to get her for a few hours." So what I'm trying to say is the decree is just there. The visitation schedule is just it's just there for a guideline. It doesn't mean that you can't deviate from it eventually. Okay. So, but in black and white, I mean, he got what he didn't want, and that's every other weekend because I mean, who died and made him special? Um, Georgia standards is every other weekend. So I don't know why all the multitude of YouTube lawyers was just lying to the. I do know why. I do know why, y'all. Let's just keep it a buck. A lot of fake people, lawyers, attorneys, and judges. The ones that practice on YouTube only. They told people what they wanted to hear. Okay. And it's unfortunate because some of those people actually believed them. They really thought that they was about to see something totally different. But we stood on business over here. We already knew what it was. We knew that because she wasn't an unfit mom, that she would get what all other fathers that come through that court system get, and that is the standard custody agreement. You know what I mean? You can't just be mad at somebody and deem them unfit because you mad at them. You're not behind the scenes and finding out what's really going on. People come to social media to release. Sometimes they vent. I mean, they rant. They vent. Sometimes you might see the ugliest on social media on some people, and some people might show you their own, only show you their good, right? But there's always the real person outside of social media. Some people don't show the real them. Now, me, I'm me on camera and off. I'm gonna keep it a buck. However you see me show up, that's just me. But there are people that will only rant on social media, and it's some people will only come and show you they're good. But it is some people that will give you a good mixture. But this me. How I come on social media is me. This is me, y'all. This now I will say this. Let me just say this. I'm not as feisty in real life that I am here on social media. I will say that. But when I say I'm not as feisty, I'm not as feisty because I don't have to be. I don't deal with people or have to talk on stories that make me feisty. You understand what I'm saying? Off of social media. But if I need to get feisty off of social media, I do. Trust and believe. But in my conversations off of social media, I don't have to raise my voice because I'm not speaking on anything that will push me to have to raise my voice. But if at any time I do have to raise my voice and get out of pocket, trust and believe I do. But again, the YouTube lawyers, with the fake YouTube lawyers need to really sit down. They have definitely lied to a lot of those people having, just saying all kind of crazy shit. It was just crazy. But at any rate, I am very happy with the outcome. And it takes two. It ain't like I also heard somebody say, "Oh, Brianna made him stand on business." No, that's not true. No one can make somebody stand on business. Okay, Brianna put in her request. I'm sure he put in his request, and then they had to actually come to an agreement about it. But I will say this: in mediation, people understand when you're not trying to agree. People understand it when you're being difficult, and mediators have to tell them, listen, this other party is being cooperative and you're not being cooperative, the judge is not going to take too kindly to that. You understand what I'm saying? So you might get in mediation and think that you're going to try to play and hold out and just be vindictive and shit, but they're going to push you a little bit because they see people come through them all the time and they see when one person is trying to be difficult over the other person, or even if both of them try to be difficult, the mediators actually get a chance to see that and they will tell you quick, fast, in a hurry, listen, we have to provide our notes to the judge. And the judge ain't going to take too kindly if one person is trying to just, cooperate and another person is not. Okay. So shout out to mediation too, honey. Shout out to mediation too, because during mediation is when my son, actually, let me take that back. My son went to mediation with his baby mom and she just was just not agreeing whatsoever. So they ended up going before the judge and my son got everything that he asked for because the mediators told the judge how difficult his baby mama was being during mediation, and he got everything that he wanted. Everything that he wanted. She didn't want to meet him halfway to drop the baby off. Which what judge will make a person come the whole way? Like, no, where you do that at? But the fake YouTube lawyers and judges seem to just want to tell people any and everything that they want because they don't know no better. They don't have no degrees in lawyer, being a lawyer, a judge, or any of that. Some of them just cook eggs online. Okay, that's it. They need to just stay cooking eggs. Okay, being a lawyer and a judge is not your thing. Okay, but at any rate, again, shout out to Jenny, Jaffe, and Denise. Don't know who you are, young lady, but whoever you are, she is a RH supporter. Shout out to y'all for asking the right questions and pushing people against the wall. Shout out to Brianna and LaTruth for coming to a resolution during mediation and stepping up and being parents to baby Amor. And, I'm just going to keep it a buck too. It's going to take baby Amor a little bit to, fully get in the swing of things. We can still see the, standoffish. I know a lot of people are like, oh my God, she's so happy and blah, 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 blah. She's still a little reserved. We can see that with our own eyes. We don't need to ask nobody. We ain't blind. We ain't dumb. We ain't stupid. Okay. We ain't got to sit here and pretend and overlook shit. She's still a little uncomfortable. It's a process. When you go 9 months without seeing your child in person because you're trying to make the mama look bad, you got to expect these type of things. So I just tell Robert, if you listening, give it some time, bro. Give it some time. She gotta see consistency. Make sure you don't miss no weekends. Now, make sure you don't miss them weekends and pick up your daughter and spend some time with her and talk to her too. Ask some questions, you know what I mean? Read some books to her, stuff like that. It don't have to be on camera. You don't have to, you ain't got to have a camera in front of you. But if you choose to do that, then, just go right ahead. But give her a little chance to warm up to you or whatever. And trust me, in 6 months or so, you guys will be A-okay, okay? I'm just going to keep it a buck. Don't sit here and listen to people tell you that doesn't mean nothing. Her tenseness don't mean nothing or whatever. The tenseness does mean something. It means that she's not comfortable. Okay, it's been a whole 9 months. Give her a chance. Don't yell. Don't get upset. Don't fuss at her when the camera go off. Just give her a chance to warm up to you. It's gonna take a minute. You was gone. She's still a child. You left when she was 3. Now she's 4. Okay, so just give her a little chance and trust me, she'll warm up. Things will be A-okay. We all praying for both of y'all, all 3 of y'all, believe it or not. And the other kids. We also praying for Brianna other children because they in the picture as well. Okay. So anyway, we ain't gonna be nasty, vindictive, and ugly, continue to be ugly. But if we want to say something slick out of our mouths or even on social media, we could do that. Now, I feel sorry for your supporters because they still want to call names and be mean toward us because of how we think and how our process and what we say. They're going to be just fine. Ain't nobody going back and forth with them. They're going to be just fine. I just say they need to go pull their big draws up or whatever and stick a passy in their mouth or whatever. It is what it is, okay? It is what it is. But again, shout out to the family moving forward. Hopefully in 6 months, I'll be able to come back and blog and tell you how wonderful they're doing. Maybe I might do a 90-day update on how wonderful they're doing, or whatever. If you guys want that, I could do that. Okay. But again, like I said, we're moving on. They will not be our content any longer. But I just felt the need to come out and say those things because, I had a lot of people getting on my page this morning telling me how bitter I was, and that I was only doing it for like, views, and money. I don't get paid to post not one goddamn thing on Facebook, honey. I only get stars, child. I ain't there yet. But y'all, did y'all see Facebook? Did y'all see Facebook fuck around and release my restrictions, honey? They said your ass, Facebook said your black ass is now recommended, honey. They said your recommended status has been restored. Did y'all see that? Oh my God. They didn't. Now listen, now why they playing? Now why they want to come to my page and tell me I'm doing something for like, views, and comments, or whatever the hell they talking about. I wasn't getting paid. Oh, well, you know what? I can't get paid for until I reach 5,000. But once I got 3,700 supporters right now. Once I reach 5,000, that's 1,300 more, I think, is it? Let me see, 37. Yeah, 1,300 more subscribers. I'm followers, because that's on Facebook. I'm an donkey. Okay, I'm an acadam donkey. No, I'm just playing. But no, but they want to come on here and say, you just still saying this and saying that because you want likes and views, baby. You don't have to come to my page and say that. You could have went to anybody page in the world and commented. But apparently you following me for something. I'm not sure what it is, but you following me for something. But you don't have to come to my page and say that. You can simply stage the fuck left, for real. You commenting on my page telling me that I only want to comments for likes and views. Well, you viewing it, so I'm getting your likes. So I don't understand why people come to somebody else's page to tell them some shit like that. And I would encourage y'all, do not go to Robert's page and say, oh, you only wanted to stick a camera in your daughter's face for likes, views. Don't tell him that. If he wants to put a camera in his daughter's face, he can. It's not up to us to tell him, don't stick a camera in her face. There's a whole lot of people out there using their kids for content. So we can't get mad because he's using her for content. Hell, he need money too. He got to feed her. Don't y'all want him to start paying child support? Yeah, he needs to, he needs to start consistently, The $100 or $200, $300 ain't hitting it, People need groceries and shit. So don't go to his page and tell him, oh, you just want to stick a camera in his face or in the baby face for likes and views. He need to get them views up. Shit. Hell, if I was Robert, I'd stick a camera in her face too. I'm gonna be a buck. Hell, if I need to make some money and I know that she gonna make me some money, shit, I'd be like, you on clock, baby girl, come on, what you want? The trampoline park, we're gonna go there after you do these 14 videos, okay? I mean, it ain't our job to tell him he don't want to spend time with his kids and he only want to put a camera in her face. I don't agree with y'all on that one. I do not agree with y'all on that one. Let him stick the camera in his face. He gotta feed his kids. You understand what I'm saying? So let him feed his kids. He got child support that's gonna be due on the 1st. Now, one baby mama was smart enough to not back down off child support, so he needs to pay child support. So we want him to pay child support. We want him to, be involved. We want him to do that. So don't get mad at him just because he's sticking the camera in the baby face. Hell, everybody got to make some money some type of way. You understand what I'm saying? And if that's gonna bring the like, views, the comments, then all that bullshit, let it happen, baby. Let it happen, honey. Shit, we ain't about to be mad. There's a whole lot of people out there having kids just for that purpose. Social media, baby. Listen, don't play. But at any rate, again, we are happy, and yeah, this story was interesting. My husband said, "Are y'all done now? Are y'all really, really done?" I said, "We done, babe, but every now and then we're gonna say some slick shit, but that don't mean we done. We're gonna say some slick shit, but that don't mean that we don't support the co-parenting. I'm gonna speak for myself. I'm not gonna speak for Beehive. I'm gonna speak for Amora. I am 100% happy about the co-parenting. Now, I'm down for that. And I don't think no father or no mother should be kept away from their the child. You understand what I'm saying? No, I am 100% happy about the co-parenting. And let me tell you something else. I believe that if a man doesn't want a man or woman, because there's some women deadbeats too. But if a man or woman don't want to voluntarily financially provide for the child, I believe in standing on business and going to the child support office and getting your goddamn money. I believe in that. Now, I'm not one of them parents. I know a lot of women out there now. I know a lot of women that will sit back and say, I ain't gonna force a man to pay. Well, that ain't me, honey, because I took both my baby daddies to child support. I'm surprised they ain't looked that shit up. You understand what I'm saying? I still got 2 child support cases open right the hell now. I get my child 32, about to be 33 this year, and I still get back child support. Okay, I'm keeping it a buck. I still get back child support. Okay, I'm just keeping it a buck. You know what I mean? So anyway, I took off work. I put in leave, and I took a day off, honey. Matter of fact, two. And I went down to the child support office and filled out all that paperwork. They ask you every damn thing, all your business, honey. They want to know everything about it. That's a thick ass package right there, child. That's one annoying thick ass package, child. Now this was years ago. I hope child support didn't change the way they do things, because I remember back then, honey, they asked you everything. Girl, the package was so thick. It may discourage some people and make them not want to even tell people what's going on or file for child support, because you got to tell so much information. God dang, that's a lot of information. But me, I took off and I did get get the information to child support, and both my baby daddies was on child support. So I'm just saying, when a daddy try not to financially provide, I'm all for having it in writing, honey, and go for the judge and tell the judge that this person ain't paying child support. You know what I mean? All right. So anyway, I hear y'all saying Jenny is live. Y'all are welcome. All y'all that saying Jenny is live, y'all are welcome to go on over there and listen to Jenny. I know I'm gonna get a chance to watch it. Shout out to Jenny. Do your thing. Ain't nobody gonna stop her. Did nobody stop her when she was going off on Bree? I don't understand why they feel like it's our responsibility to stop her while she going off on Robert. She could do whatever she want to do. We are all individuals in this fight. You understand what I'm saying? Just like you guys can do what y'all want to do. I had people say, "Oh, can I still do this?" Listen, y'all grown, honey. We don't run no coat over here. Y'all are grown, and I'm grown too, baby. You hear me? Suck on these lemons. I'm grown too, and if I want to say something, I'm gonna say it. I wish somebody would tell me don't say nothing. I wish somebody white, right? I wish somebody. Do you think RH will stick with the agreement? What? When Ja come back from shooting his movie, child, I don't know, honey. And don't listen, that ain't my fight no more. Whether or not he stick to the agreement. Now, y'all know I came on here to get those content creators over there from Stop Being a Bully. And I did that by showing them how much a bully that somebody else can be to them. Okay. Now I'm not here for the fight of whether he carry out the agreement and not bashing his baby mamas or whatever, or should I say his Brianna, because the other baby mama can stand her own ground. But no, that ain't my job. If he don't carry it out, Brianna's smart enough to know what she needs to do. Brianna is definitely smart enough to know what she needs to do. Y'all texting me talking about I need to see what Jenny got on.